Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and today we're out here to look at a new scope, or newest scope, the Redline Corsair Gen 2. Now the Gen 2 is new, the Gen 1 wasn't new. There's some changes here. We're going to talk about the ins and outs, but mostly we're going to shoot this. We're going to get a feel for it. We're going to see how it performs. You guys are going to get to take a look at the glass, and that is through the trigger cam, so know that it is degraded. What you see through your eyeball is going to look better than what you're seeing. That is a 50-yard target. We'll look outwards to 150. I will be using this fancy pants monitor. Oh, if I quit turning it to other things. We'll be using this fancy pants monitor because it is so hot and humid. If I even get close to the camera, they fog up. They go crazy. So I've been kind of checking this out for a couple of weeks. For the price point, there are some really redeeming features about this, and you could compare this to many of the very popular budget brands. I won't mention them by name, but we will talk about them. What I think about this in terms of how it stacks up against those, because this is a $700-ish scope, sub $700. But let me get this thing, we're going to cover this up, because as you can see, if you see that, if I'm not behind the scope, there is some sunlight that comes in. I don't want to get up on it, and I'm just going to shoot through this, so I'm going to cover this up. All right, so first things first, let's peel this out, and while I'm thinking about it, while I'm on this, the controls are smoother than anything else I felt at this price point. I'm going to go ahead and say that. The controls are smoother. That goes for the magnification ring, that goes for the parallax, which I won't touch because this is parallax where it needs to be, but the controls are smoother. Let's see, I have not zeroed this, so we are literally going to watch this together. We're going to shoot right in front of the 50-yard target. Okay, I think we were pretty close. Maybe I did zero this. Maybe that shell did not come out. Let's shoot at our first target. These do have fresh paint. Okay, and I knocked my little sunscreen off, so maybe I will have to get up in front of this. So we're a little high, we're a little left. Let's go ahead and change this. Now, I will say the turrets are very, very clicky. Like, I don't know if you can hear that. I'll pull in a sound bite here. Let's send one more. Let's go with the next one. Let's see. Put a little bit of ride into it. Let's see where that one went. Did that one eject? I think it did. All right. Yeah, more centered up, but we are high, so let's come down. Okay, 4 clicks down. Let's see where we're at. Oh, and I'm going to keep knocking that off, apparently. Let's see if I can figure out a way to keep this on here. Maybe I'm just going to have to put my eye up to it. All right, let's just go and look through this thing because I don't want to not be looked through, apparently. Speaking of looking through, we're going to now use this opportunity to show you guys the illumination. That's our low setting. We have off in between, which I like. And you can see this thing is going to get very, very bright. Full reticle illumination. Let's go back to the brightest. Let me back you guys out. So basically the entire reticle. Let's bring you guys in. And let's see if we can see if we were zeroed enough to get a good hit. I painted these brown. In retrospect, that might have been not the right move. We've hit it. Let's try this guy. Oh yeah. All right. So let's go out to 100 yards. So there is one thing that I don't like, and I'll have to show you on B-roll as opposed to just this. Let me get out to the 100 yard. The parallax. I like a marked parallax for quick reference. Now you can mark these, but this one is not marked. It's kind of got like a graduated kind of triangle. I know you guys have seen those before. Let me zoom in. Let me get this as clear as I can. Have a ton of parallax adjustment. All right, let's turn this off. Let me reset the 0 here, and I will say I'm going to put some stuff on screen. I'm not a huge spec guy because I feel like you guys can go and read that, you know, on the manufacturer's website. Stainless steel, turrets, parts, 16 lenses. I have talked to the gentleman who makes these. He did send this in the channel for review. That's not anything new. Like, you know, I can get pretty much any budget scope I want, so it's not going to influence what I'm going to say, because trust me, that is not the problem. So we're going to dial up to, let's go 1.6, and let's aim here and see where we're at. See what we got going on. Okay, that's pretty close. Let's see again. Oh, stupid thing's gonna keep falling off on me. Let's see if we can get some hits out there. So, saying all this because there's a lot to like about this. For sub $700, this thing is pretty good. Like I said, I don't like the Parallax. I love the illumination. I really like this reticle. Let's zoom in a little bit on that. We are in the failing light here too, so if you see the image getting darker, 1, that's the trigger cam. 2, you know, we're out here basically at almost dark because it is insanely hot. But here you can see, I like this. We start off with those kind of 1/2 mil subtensions. Some people won't like it. I think it's pretty clean. It's all going to be based on what you want as you get further down in the reticle. You do have 2/10 for windage when you're holding under. So I like this. Some people won't, some people will. That's very subjective, of course. And let's peel back out to base magnification so you guys can get an idea of just how much field of view we have here. So we're going to come back in. Let's get a few more shots here at 100. Oh yeah, oh, we're ditching that thing because that is just going to continue, I think, to be a pain in my butt. And I'm just going to have to deal with this thing fogging up. All right, let's keep going. Pretty dialed. Old MTR action out here, 100 yard KYL. Oh, just nicked it. Oh, I think that was off left. A little dark to be seeing bullets. Yep, I was right. 1/4 inch at 100 yards. Aiming just off right, think it went off right. There it is, 1/4 inch at 100 yards, hitting it. Hitting it. I think that was just off left. There we go. So pretty freaking successful out there. We're going to pop this guy up. We're going to take a look at 150. But overall, very, very solid design on this optic. You're talking sub $700, so, you know, not a ton of competitors out there kind of in that area. Let's get this thing parallaxed up for you guys. And that chromatic aberration you're seeing there is definitely going to be the trigger cam. There's just no way around it. I've tried to eliminate that with the trigger cam. It just seems to be impossible. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can see. But yeah, 150 yards clarity is not a problem. Again, maybe if I'm being really picky, I might prefer the DNT reticle over this. And if I had to compare them, the Arkin I would put as my least favorite. I did not see that. I think it was a little high. The Arkin's probably my least favorite when it comes to the reticles. Then I would say it's this, and then I would say it's going to be the DNT. I still kind of prefer the DNT reticle a little bit over this one. I could certainly use this. It wouldn't prevent me from buying it. But this, I like the turrets more, both the elevation and windage turrets to me. Just a personal kind of feeling, but on the Arkin and the DNTs, as I get kind of like up in the revs, I feel like the turrets are a hair sloppy. It's not that they don't have positive clicks and detents, which they do. This just overall feels a little tighter to me. The smoothness of the Parallax and the mag is a lot smoother. Now, this, if you buy it, doesn't come with, you got a sunshade for it here. I just don't have it on, but it doesn't come with a throw lever, although they do sell one. They also sell like a kill flash instead of this kind of cylindrical sunshade. So there are some options out there. All right, let's see if we can figure out. I did not paint these targets. I actually didn't really think I'd be shooting at them. Let's go right here in that cluster. Okay, I see it. Just a little high, just a little left. Let's send one more. yeah, just kind of the ammo. This is random ammo. So yeah, it should be close enough to hit some. We're a little left, that's okay. Just giving you guys an idea of the scope, but obviously the clarity of the scope is plenty good enough to do what you need to do. Let's go to Truman bar. Got it, Truman bar. Right over top, I believe. Right underneath. There we go. So ammo not the best. Let's come into about 130. Check this on the camera, you guys. Get that guy parallaxed in. Okay. Let's see if we're close on dope. Close enough. But a variable, but overall very usable, very, very usable budget optic. And it is 1,000,000 degrees out here. So if you notice I am sweating a ton, that's why. And again, this is kind of like a first look. I've had this scope for a couple weeks. I've played with it. I've had it on other rifles. I've glassed it out. I'm going to bring this back down to 0. And we're going to parallax this back for 50 and run the KYL one more time. But I'm always happy to see and have more budget options out there because it's competition in the market. And that's good for consumers. It's good for me because I get to show you guys these scopes. And again, that glare you're seeing in there, that if I do that, that is light coming in from behind that. That has nothing to do with the scope. All right, that should be good enough. Let's see. Get behind it here. See if we can run this. Pretty sure we can. I will say, as far as my visibility, you guys probably are seeing more than me because I'm looking through something that's fogging up, which is looking through the scope. So a little hard out here through the trigger cam. If you've ever run one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But we're still making it work. Oh, I think I just freaking, come on. There we go. Couldn't tell where that first one went because that log is super dark. But yeah, overall, really good. And I'll give you guys a little bit of field of view. We're going to go through the parallax. You can see there, we're at infinity there, and at low magnification, it is very, very forgiving. You see, we're looking out at those targets. Let's roll it back in. So pretty freaking forgiving. Obviously, we would have to touch that up. The more magnification we bring in, the more demanding it's going to be on parallax. And again, chromatic aberration on those. That's just the nature of the beast of having a trigger cam. But I really think that these are worth looking at. The illumination, really, really good. I like the off and on, the one step in between. The controls for parallax, very, very smooth. Even though I have the trigger cam here, the controls for the magnification, very, very smooth. I would say all those features punch above their weight. I think the construction, the stainless steel, the amount of glass in here, the things that he's done, and again, I'm not going to talk about the specs because I'm not an optical engineer. I'll have them listed maybe over here. Put a lot of thought and effort into this, and I think did a really good job. So I think all those things punch above the class of comparable optics in this price range. Now, the parallax marking, I don't really care for. Like I said, that's just a personal opinion. And that's very much one of those deals where I don't like it, somebody else does. So, you know, it's 50-50 either way. The turrets, while they feel really, really good, I think the turrets and the feel of them are better. I like a larger turret. If I were going to make this scope, if I had like, you know, engineering input, I would make the turrets physically bigger just because I like them. These are not tiny by any means. It's very easy to distinguish where you're at as far as the markings. They line up nicely. All those things work really well. I just prefer a bigger turret. Again, no names here, but you can see another kind of budget option here. Larger turrets, I've just kind of become accustomed to the larger turrets is kind of what I like. But again, I think that this thing is going to be ultra competitive at its price point. And again, it's always better to have more competition. I think this thing is bringing a lot to the table. It's definitely worth you guys checking it out. So far, I don't have any major complaints about this. Some very nitpicky things. That's going to happen with any scope because there's just so many options. So I appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one.